lovelies. Thank you for joining me on my YouTube journey today, and thank you for subscribing. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Please press the bell icon and you'll be notified when I upload my newest videos as and when I do. So if you are following me then or have subscribed to my video, of course, as you know, my channel is about lifestyle, beauty and a little bit of fashion, all things that I love. And of course, here and there I want to cover areas and topics that you guys request as well. So let's get on to the topic of today's video. So today's topic is about the most frequently asked question on Instagram, and this is a question I get almost daily, and one that I've been wanting to cover for a long time, but then I knew this topic will require a lot of work and detail, and I thought let me first cover it in basic detail for you, and then we'll get into the deeper stuff in the coming weeks. So guys, this is about my Instagram aesthetic and the kind of vibe and feel of my Instagram feed. You guys often ask me how I developed it, how I maintain it, what is secret sauce behind my Instagram basically. And there isn't a secret really, and I try to tell you and respond to you and try to like give as much information as I can on message, but I thought a video would be a more comprehensive way of sharing that information with you, because it is an area that I really feel passionate about. It's an area I really like because I am a creative person, and this is a really fantastic creative outlet for me, and I think it is for you guys as well, which is why you want to know. So when I realized that social media was a very strong part of the future of marketing and sales, I decided to sort of update my knowledge on it and do a short course on social media and digital marketing at the RMIT University in Melbourne. I think it was 2017 or 16, and that really and this was a course that was very specific for beauty and fashion, and it really helped me kind of understand what goes on behind developing a very strong social media presence. Of course, at that time I didn't really put it into building that for myself personally, but it was more about my business. And with time I started a page for myself, my personal photos and my personal feed basically, and that's when I started experimenting more with my personal expression and my personal creativity. So I think we will cover a few areas and try and get as much information out there for you guys to develop your own style, your own signature and your own voice on your social media. So let's begin with number one. I have a bit of notes here because I want to be a bit succinct and detailed for you guys and try and cover as much as possible. So the first thing and the most important thing I feel in the visual aesthetics, and something that's so basic and so obvious but so important, is your grid, your layout. There are a lot of options you can take in terms of what layout you choose, but it's important that you choose one, because when you look at somebody's Insta feed and it's very cluttered and it's messy and there's no kind of organized structure to it, you do lose interest, and that's a pity, especially for a business. It's important to engage your followers, so for that you do need a very aesthetically pleasing layout. So you can pick something like your white borders, which are very, very basic, something that I used to do years ago as well, and that kind of gives it a bit of a cleaner look, gives it space between the photos, doesn't look cluttered. You can use a quote in between your photos, again giving it a bit of a structure, a bit of a design element as well. So there are very complex designs for layouts as well that businesses sometimes use. So there's a lot of options. I'll share a few with you, and you can see what options are out there. And you can always create your own, which I absolutely encourage, because I think having your own signature and originality is key, especially on social media. It makes you very inspirational. And whatever type of layout you choose, it's important to choose a layout. You need to have a structure to put your photos into, like a plan, a visual plan, right? Number two is again a very common thing that people talk about, but it for me is twofold. It's a theme. Basically, you need to do a little bit of research on yourself, on what you want to portray, to express, what your voice is, what your story is, whatever it is. But a theme represents that visually. So whether you go for a bright and vibrant theme, you go for a warm theme, you go for a tropical theme, a wintry noir theme, a French theme, a black and white theme, whatever it is, it's important to develop a theme, because that is what your photos will kind of ultimately fit into. And again, visually it tells a story, visually it gives you cohesiveness. So I think developing a theme is extremely important, and visually that is something that's going to make a huge difference in your Instagram feed as well. With the theme, don't be afraid to pick one and stick to it, and then when you feel like it, you can always change it. It's not forever, it's not concrete, right? I have followed Instagrammers who have had a very retro theme for a while, very grainy, very vintage, very retro, and then gone to a very modern, bright, vibrant theme after. So it's doable, you can change things around, but it's important that you carry a certain theme for a while to give your followers something to kind of expect from you, something to know that is like your own. Okay, when you say this particular Instagram feed, okay, this is what we are looking forward to, this is what you're gonna get, you know, that sort of vibe. So the third thing is something that a lot of people overlook, but even in the course that I followed, especially for businesses, this is something that you guys need to kind of really look into, and that is developing a story. So when you have a feed, you know, and you have a brand, it can be your personal brand, it can be just you. But it's important that that represents something, and you need to know that first before you tell your audience, right? So whatever that is, it's really important to kind of understand what you stand for and deliver that in the way of, you know, photographs. So what is the story? So for me personally, it's lifestyle, it's you know, travel, fashion, that sort of thing. But for some people it can be gadgets, it can be you know, travel again, it could be full-on fashion, it could be like just photography, wildlife, nature, it could be anything. But you need to kind of know what your audience is getting. Like, the audience needs to be getting something out of your feed. Just if you're trying to really develop a brand, a signature, then just random pictures are not going to cut it. You're going to need to curate your feed. You're going to need to curate the photos that you put up on there. So that kind of comes from figuring out what you're passionate about. Like for me personally, it's tea, it's coffee, it's travel, it's lifestyle, it's you know, beauty in the very simplest of things, it's fashion. So for me, it's like an amalgamation of all of these things, and it's perfectly fine as long as you know how to deliver that in a very aesthetically pleasing way. So what you need to do is also kind of develop your own story about what you are trying to say with photos, right? And also, as you know, people follow and then people also unfollow. So when people follow, it's important to keep them engaged. That means you need to also give them something to look forward to on your feed, maybe knowledge, maybe something that you share, tips and tricks and tidbits, whatever it is. There are Instagrammers who post, you know, like if it's fashion, then they post like where to buy certain things from, where they bought certain things from, how to style certain things. So there's always something to learn as well. So that's why the audience stays engaged, right? So it depends on what you're trying to do, depends on what you are trying to achieve, especially if, say for example, if it's a business, if you're a skincare brand. There are skincare brands who are just putting their products out. Yeah, people will buy it, people will not, but people are not engaged so much. To engage the audience, some skincare brands, for example, will put information about skincare. You know, if you have acne, what do? It's not just about promoting their own products, but it's about educating the audience, and people follow for that information, and in turn you will somewhere sell your products as well. So as a business, it's important to kind of do that, and even as a personal brand, you can absolutely do that. If you're putting up pictures of food, for example, it's nice to always you know, maybe include a recipe quickly for that particular thing on your table. So just kind of not just sending photos out to the world, but also something a little bit enriching. I think enriching is the word we're looking for here. Just enrich your audience with your feed. Right, so another thing that a lot of people ask me is about the filters that I use. And let me tell you this, your Instagram aesthetic doesn't become amazing because you have like a particular filter. It's a lot of things. It's your photograph, to your layout, to your theme, to your story, what your captions are, even just a whole lot of things. But with your filters, what I have found, like just doing a lot of research on it, and just, you know, looking at people that I love, you know, people's feeds who I find just gorgeous or inspirational or follow worthy, or, you know, every day just looking forward to somebody's next picture. I find that sticking to 1, 2 or 3 maybe filters that are kind of consistent throughout your feed is very important. So that way we go back to theme. You don't then have like a really warm and orangey filter, and then like a cool and blue kind of filter, and then like a really dark filter. So it's not like all kind of scattered and all over the place, and then it's just kind of like one thing, right? So I personally like a lot of whites. I like less warmth, so I cut the warmth from most of my photos. I like less green, so I like blues. I like sort of cooler tones on my feed right at the moment. I might change later, but at the moment it's all about that sort of cooler kind of feel, right? I put my kettle on so I can make a tea while I talk to you. Alright, object sizes. So another thing that I discovered for myself just through like trial and error is I don't quite like to put, say, a very big close-up of my face and another close-up of my face and another close-up of my face. Like, I think sizes of objects in your photos and placement of them really matters. So if I put a smaller size photo of me on a, you know, sort of a background, then I will put a quote maybe, and then a close-up of my face, like a very like portrait of myself, and then maybe a fashion shot, which is like a mid shot, and then another quote or something like that, just, you know, kind of to give it a bit of a up and down, up and down, up and down feel, as opposed to same size, same size, same size, same size. It just tends to look very cluttered when it's the same size. And also just you know, when you take it up a notch with really great aesthetics, really great Instagrammers, they even look at like direction. If one is looking this way, then the other is looking this way, and the other one's looking this way. It's very beautiful. There's a flow to it. So that flow, I think, is created by the size of the objects that are in your feed, in the photographs. So that's one. I think my kettle is ready. Wait, it's coming. So number 6. Number 6, I'll get back to number 6 because I need a tea. Okay, re-energized. We're ready to go from number 6. Number 6 is plan your feed. Plan your feed prior. Don't take a photo on the spot and just like put a filter through it and just put it on your feed. That's when it starts to look not organized. If you want to look organized, you have to be organized. So there are apps that will allow you to pre-plan your Instagram feed, so the layout is already there. You have the grid, you can plan it prior, you can move your photos around to see what looks good where. And every Instagram feed I feel that looks good is one that does that, because it just makes things so much easier to see the perspective of, because you can't quite like post and delete. So it's important to kind of have a feel of it before, just to kind of get to know what looks good where. And that will give you an idea of if this picture goes next to this, does it look too busy? Do I need a little bit of space? Do I need a photo with like a smaller object in the middle? So you will get perspective if you plan it ahead, right? 7 is the most basic thing that you can think about, but it makes a world of difference, and that is high quality photographs. Okay, I'm not talking about, you know, having a professional photographer follow you around and kind of like take amazing photos with their professional cameras. No, not that. You can absolutely work with your phone, or just take your photos yourself. That's perfectly fine. When I say high quality, it means attention to detail. It means curated. So I sometimes see photos that are really nice, amazing, a beautiful girl in the foreground just looking gorgeous, and then you see like a dustbin in the background, and that's where your eye immediately goes. So just watch for your surroundings. If there's something you want to get rid of in your edits, you can do that. You know, a lot of the apps will allow you to vanish items. So just look around. If there's like garbage in the back, or like a plug point that's like visually distracting, remove those things. Just make your photo really high quality in terms of the visual details in it, right? So I think that's what I mean by high quality. It doesn't matter how you're taking the photos, who's taking them, who's in it, as long as the photo looks thought out and the details are sort of organized. Number 8, show your personality. Everyone we love on Instagram and follow and have high engagement levels are very, very, you know, captivating with their personalities. That's what we follow them for. Anyone can take good pictures. Anyone with money can hire a good photographer, get professional editing done, and you can have a fantastic feed in terms of beautiful photos. But something that you can't buy, as far as I know, is a personality. So that is something that is unique to you, something you can let shine through in your Insta feed, and something that will make you unique and stand out from the crowd. So find out what it is about your personality that's going to appeal the most and show it off. So number 9 is really important, and I think it is, or it could be, the secret sauce, and that is to inspire. Okay, so when I say inspire, you don't need to be thinking really big, like, you know, change the world type of thing. If you can, then fantastic. If you can't, then try to find a way in which you can inspire authentically and even in the tiniest of ways. Now, if I were to take myself as an example in this regard, I would say, because my personality is such, I was taking a lot of photos of books, especially secondhand books, tea, coffee, beautiful mugs, because I'm obsessed with mugs, and just kind of doing my thing, expressing myself. But I think a lot of people were inspired by that, and a lot of people ask me every day where I get my books from, where they can find secondhand books, where they can find mugs like mine. So they want to create that same kind of lifestyle for themselves, and that's what I mean by inspiration. It is just, you know, encouraging somebody to feel that smell of a new book again, or have beautiful tea all by yourself with a cookie and have that really quiet, serene moment for yourself. So it's that kind of inspiration. It doesn't have to be big. Think small, think of what is more relatable to you and develop that in your Insta feed. But do remember to inspire, because in some ways we are looking for inspiration on a daily basis. Even if it's fashion, we're looking to those fashion bloggers to see what we can wear, what can we match this with. We look to beauty bloggers to see what our skin tone is going to look best with in terms of eyeshadow, lipstick, whatever it is. What are the current trends? Will it work for me? We are looking to these feeds to find inspiration in some way. So we need to kind of find a way to give the audience that inspiration. Number 10, and last but not least, because this I think is so important as well, and I know a lot of you guys are like, no, shut up about all of this, just give us the exact filter numbers, give us the exact apps you use, give us the exact editing tools. Guys, these are all out there, and I will get into that as well eventually, but mostly I just want to help you understand how to find your own voice in the Instagram game. And this thing is a very underrated thing, and something that we cannot overlook, and it is to have fun. After all, Instagram is an app. It's an extremely useful app, something that you can earn money from, something you can build brands upon, build your own personality through, all of that. But it is still an app, and it's still something you can have fun with. So don't be too serious about it. Don't take yourself too seriously. Always remember to be okay with making a goofball of yourself. That one real picture of yourself where it's not posed, it's not super planned and super perfect is okay. It's okay to be real in your feed, because that is something that is going to be relatable for your audience as well. So have fun and be real. That's really, really important. And it's also not healthy, guys, not for you, not for your audience. I think in our society today, there's just too much going on in terms of this pursuit of perfection, which is a concept that simply doesn't exist. So why not be real? Be more of who you are and let people love you for who you are. So have fun. Right, so that's it for this video, and I hope you learned something. I hope you found it useful, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe by pressing the bell icon, and also tune in for my newest videos. Leave your comments below. I really want to hear them. I really want to know what you think, what you want to know about next. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, alright guys, so just want to say thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Stay blessed, stay happy and joyful, and stay safe. Much love.